Welcome to our first regionals roundup. So this weekend we had our first regionals event, and we managed to have 6 different locations around the UK. 232 people participate across all 6 regions. And loads of people getting involved.
Yeah, it was awesome to see.
I think we both spoke about it a couple of months ago, and something that we wanted to set up, and we thought let's maybe just try and get 5, and if we can get 10 to 15 at 5 locations, then it's a good start. But 6 with on average, what's that? It's like an average 40 at each.
Yeah, not far.
40 at each place, thanks to South West Storm, which we'll come to later with their participation. But yeah, how did you feel like it went at your?
It was. I was really surprised, to be honest. Just by how many people showed up. I remember when we had the initial meeting, Jamie saying that, I reckon looking at 40 people at his first event, and I was thinking, that'd be pretty good. I reckon more like 20, 30 though. Yeah. And then more people turned up than what I was expecting. And just the atmosphere, what we wanted it to be like and everything, it was just, it was exactly how top.
Because obviously I ran the one that was at Train for the North guys, and we've previously ran quite a few training days at Train before. But the training days we usually get around 40, but it's people come up from down south and up in Scotland. Like, people make the effort to travel to that. So I thought, maybe the numbers won't be as good, but what we found out was that there was new faces and people that actually lived quite close by, who maybe potentially thought that the training days were only if you were like really, really good. So this regionals event potentially opened up for give people the confidence just to let's just come and get involved, and that's exactly what we wanted. Exactly what we wanted.
And at the East region, I was down in Norwich. There was plenty of people that weren't on JST as well. In fact, there was quite a lot really. So good to kind of get other people involved that just want to, be involved in like the community, in competing a little bit more, just seeing what they can do against other like-minded people really. So it was good.
Next regional is
the 19th of February. Some of the places are yet to be confirmed, but we'll let you know ASAP. But basically just block out the 19th of February, and we'll get the details over to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, and we want to hopefully run the same 6 regions, but if we can try and just add, we're potentially working on the Midlands and Denmark.
Potentially Ireland, but we just want to make sure we get the right people. So like we've had this weekend, we've had some good successful events that are going to be carried on and be sustainable. We just want to make sure that for the other events that we had, we're going to get the same thing.
And if you feel like, like I said, Ireland there, we had a few people in our group put the name forward and was like, I'm from Ireland, and there was quite a few chirped up, probably enough to kind of, start running one. If you feel like you can do it at your place, then just reach out and give us a shout. Like, we don't know unless people come and drop us a message, and then we can see if we can make it work from there.
Sounds good. I guess we should go into the kind of stats of the weekend and the leaderboard.
My eyes on.
So I think most people have probably seen the leaderboard now, and South West Storm rounded off the weekend in first. Northern Graph were second, and then we had South East Eagles third, Welsh Fire fourth, and then
East Beast fourth.
East Beast fourth.
And Welsh Fire and East Beast were joint fourth.
Yeah, you're right there. And then rounding off, we had Scottish Claymores in sixth.
Yeah. What was interesting for me to see when you look at the scores for all of them, maybe except from the participation of South West Storm, was how close everything was. Like, I'm just looking through there. At Northern Graph we had 32 people, and we came fourth. It's like 32 people turning up to like a regionals event, and you're the fourth highest. And there's South East Eagles, and then East Beast had 36. Yeah. If we had 4 more people turn up, then we take first place overall.
Yeah.
But it's just like that same thing there for the lifting event. There was Scottish Claymores had 198, East Beast also 198, then there's 201, and then 204. So like the margins there are like really close. So even though Scottish Claymores took 5th, like one person nailing that lift that was potentially like a 10k like higher, and he maybe took a gamble and didn't make it. Like that's the difference between that region potentially taking 5th or like 2nd because of how tight everything was.
Just on that point there, obviously the Southwest guys were giving each other a bit of stick, saying, if you got a couple more kilos, we would have, taken 1st or whatever. And Sandy chirped in saying, well, if you guys had got a couple more calories on the workout, we would have like taken 1st, on the workout part. So there's a couple of ways, obviously, that you can bring that average up. One person could hit, a big 10 kilo PB, or that couple of kilos between a few of you is equally going to, bump up your average.
It's that exact thing that we want you to remember when it's the next regionals. And like, for example, the one just gone where there's 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, and you've got half the team that are going on the rowers and going for it, and then half that are resting. Like the team that are resting, if you get around the people that are working, or you get around them when they're doing the lifting, and you're all just trying to squeeze like that extra little bit out of each other, because it does make a difference. I know, but that's what I was thinking, is just making sure that every single person was trying to squeeze out as many calories, because no one knew who was going to get the highest scores until we told them up at the end. And the fact that we used, I remember there was Sophia and Beth and Fran and Lauren Calvert like on 2 rowers towards the back of the room, and I was kind of like let them know to each other like what they were on, so then they were like competing against each other, but then that brought the level of our region up. And two of their scores contributed to our team scores. So yeah, just kind of using, it's that RBE, it's that JST effect that we keep mentioning, using that within the group that you've got your regionals, because it'll, when it comes onto the leaderboard, it'll hopefully make the difference.
I just want to go into a little bit more detail into each like event. So the first event was the participation, and if everyone doesn't know already, obviously Southwest had 75 people, and everyone's probably thinking, how the heck did they get 75 people down?
It's not a big gym either, is
it? So for this first event, the Southwest actually ran a competition out of CrossFit Chilly Sailor. It was Sandy Gibson that is running it, who's the Southwest Regional Manager. So that's how they've kind of managed to...
Are we saying it's borderline cheating or not? I'm just being bitter.
So they had 75 people at their first event. I mean, if they can replicate that again without doing a competition, that's when you know it's legit. But other than that, like you said, Steve, when I was watching the sign-ups the couple of weeks leading up to regionals, it was super close all the way through. Like when one region got to like 20, the other ones were in around like 18, 17, 19. Like it was really close all the way up until, the last couple of days before the regional event, which I was like, this is really getting some traction, which I was, blown away by, really.
I was guilty for some last minute recruitment on the Northern Graph side. a check on Friday night of where our sign up numbers were, and there's a few people that I knew that you get those people that don't sign up to the link because they're technophobes, or they just can't be bothered, that that are coming, but it was just like, it was last minute, send out a few messages of people that maybe didn't know about it, or and we ended up gaining 5 or 6 off that, and that made a difference for us on the day.
Big shout out to the East on this one, because like Norwich is in the arse end of nowhere, and it's not like there's not a lot of people live out east, but to get to 36 people, I think, to that region, I was like fair play to Rich Barnes. I know he reached out to a lot of people quite early on, a couple of weeks before, to be like, get yourself down to this event, this is what's kind of happening, and it really paid off, which I was really impressed with. So big shout out to Rich and Sammy there.
They're a gym that have, since we started Super Saturdays, they've pretty much every week they've always had a good turn up. So yeah, it's probably down to that fact a little bit, that people are aware that something happens there every Saturday. But yeah, they've represented for a while now, so it's good to have them.
Yeah,
as like a regional.
And then the fair play to Jamie Boston, obviously calling out that I'm going to get 40 people to the first event.
Yeah, you got 39.
39. It's not bad, that.
It's not 40 though.
It's not 40 though, is it? So that was kind of the few things that I wanted to point out on the participation side of things. So let's go into the weightlifting. Do you know who slung the biggest weights for the guys?
I know who slung the biggest weights for the guys, and if he's not already told you, he's letting everyone else know about it. Michael Jordan, not the basketballer, the CrossFitter. Fair play to him, because he was giving it some chat before, and he was calling it, and then when he chucked 150 in the community group chat before we'd even started, and I was like, 150? I'm sure his max clean jerk's like 155. There's no chance he's getting 150, but to be fair, I could watch the lift. Especially the jerk, he worked pretty hard for that lift. Go and check it out. I'm pretty sure it's on Mike's Instagram himself, but yeah, he fully committed. He went all in for that jerk. I reckon he probably needs a couple of days rest after that rep alone. And then I think next up we had Evander.
Yeah.
And then there was Harry Lightfoot from Southwest Storm.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I saw a lot of scores then for the guys anyway, between like in the mid 130s when I looked through a lot of the leaderboards. And to me, that again, if we're just kind of using these events as like learning processes for competition, when it comes to the Open or quarterfinals, we've just found out there for that complex where like the bottleneck is of athletes is that mid 30s point. So if you can surpass the mid 30s and get into the 40 pluses, then you're getting above that bottleneck, and that's really important when you're on a leaderboard with a lot of people in. And the same goes for the girls. Like I found that area was in and around like the 75 to 80 kilo mark, and if you surpassed that and got into like mid 80s towards 90s, you were like, you were getting above that bottleneck again.
You can see you did it with your 136, and Evander did it with your 141. Like Evander would have got the same as Harry, but it was like, I'm just going to slide another 1 kilo on. So
yeah, I only did that to beat Sean, to be fair.
On the girls' side,
yeah, the girls for the lifting, I think that what's worth a shout out is the Scottish girls. Mm-hmm. For a while now, we've been pretty impressed with what's going on up in Scotland. For the girls especially, I think there was 3 girls that hit 85.
Yeah.
There was some, and there was a couple of girls that hit 80. Yeah. They know how to lift some weight down in Scotland, and I'm going there next month for the next regional event, so it'll be really good to see everyone in person and see how they do things. But yeah, shout out to those girls, because they're slinging tin, and they're
we'll get onto the next stat on the workout, which is quite mind-blowing to be fair, on that side of things. So on the girls weightlifting side of things, Helena,
yes,
she took first with 95 kilos.
Yeah.
Games athlete, she's been around the block for a while now. I think they're going team this year by the looks of it, so big shout out to her. Second, Beth, Leighton and Sammy from the East region, 90 kilos. I was
obviously there with Beth's lift, and it was really good, solid lift. We've been doing a lot of weightlifting sessions here, and just like to land that jerk. I know she's always like very confident with the cleans, and then like it's always the kind of jerk for Beth that makes or breaks like a clean jerk lift, and it was really solid.
Good. And then there's quite a few quite a few people hit 85 kilos. Yeah. Just to name a few: Ellie Gregor from the Southwest, Frank Albert, and Sophia Frey, all hit 85 kilos. But like you said before, like bottlenecks, could one of them chucks an extra kilo on? It's worth bearing in mind for the next
It's just good knowing in training as well. Like when you're trying to work and just like building your numbers up, it's just like, where do I need to get them? And you know that the likes of Sophia, Fran, like they're getting those numbers, and we know what level they're at. So it's just like it just gives you stats, and it gives you data of what the level you need to get to if you want to be making like different competition levels.
Yeah. The other kind of good stat that I thought was quite good. 4 out of the 5 Welsh guys on the men's side for the weightlifting all hit 130 kilos, which I was like, it's pretty consistent. Everyone's pretty, in and around the same, which is quite good for, right, you all have got a good idea that you're in and around the same. Who's going to be, who's going to be the first to break it?
The first thing I think there as well, who's going 135, because if all 4 of you have got 130 and one person gets 135, then are all 4 of you getting 135?
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see the next couple of regionals. Well, a couple of familiar names. So Alex Mosley, who's pretty young, 22, and then we've got Adam Yelland, who's not far off 40. 40 now. Lee Bevan, bit of an old school name in there. Good to see him getting down. And Jordan Purcell, who has been a JST athlete for a while. So good to see some familiar names as well as some old names.
I've seen they've already started trying to poach Taylor down for the... Hands off. She's a northerner now.
Do you know which was the only region to hit more than 130 kilos on the guy's side and on the women's side over 85 kilos?
The only region to?
Yeah.
For every lift over 130? North?
Yeah. Big slingers in the north. So
big slingers.
Pulled out first of that event.
Yeah, I think we pulled out first. Well, I'm not jumping the gun, but I think it was. We knew we had some good lifters there, and there's even Phil Roy was in there, and he took a chance and he went to one. I think he actually miscalculated his weight. He went from 111 to 131 within that 6-minute time frame. But I think we just everyone was just pushing each other. Like I had said before, hadn't done much lifting for a while, but the fact that Sean hit 135 is like, right, well, Sean's put a good score in. I'm just going to try and up on that score. If I get it, fantastic. I'll probably score will probably go in as the team score. If I don't, then I'm sure some of the other guys will chip in. Anyway, so
quite a few as well, especially at the East region. I know for sure a lot of girls hit their 1 rep max for the complex. So there was Imogen Davis, Phoebe's sister, a girl called Bernadette Rose, who's not on the programme, but she hit a 1 rep max as well, and another one called Rebecca Holmes. I'm sure there probably was at other regions. If you did, let us know about it, so we can share that as well. Just as epic to hear people hitting the complex for the 1 rep max as it is for some of the other guys getting in that top 5.
It's pretty good going. That it's a very tough complex. That so a 4 rep complex to hit your equal PB, it's good signs that the numbers are going up.
It's really good. Big shout out to them as well. Awesome to see. Anything else you want to touch on the weightlifting? I thought it was a good point about the bottlenecks, but is there anything else you saw kind of when people not doing so well, or?
I think what was important, I think what we did quite well was just we just made sure that people were aware of what weight they wanted to get to. Let them think about it for a bit, so that when we started that 6 minutes, everyone got their optimal weight out of that six minutes. I know there's reports maybe from Scotland that a couple of girls didn't they ran out of time, and it's just right, well, let's learn from that for next time. It's what these regional events are all about, having these lessons in this competition environment, so that when we do get to a proper competition, you're just performing exactly what you're capable of performing. So I think a learning experience for everyone is just making sure when we've got this lifting event and there's a quite a short time frame that was on it this time, it's just really just planning out what's my opening lift, how many lifts am I going to get in this time frame, and what do I really want to get to, and then just keeping your eye on the timer and not letting the time run away and be rushing the lifts last minute. And another good thing is from I can only speak from the guys from the north, but a lot of people started the very last lift just before 6 minutes. They maximised that time. The first lift was on 0 and the last lift was on 6 minutes, and they completely maximised that time, and we could get potentially 2 lifts in between as well. All just really good skills and just things to be able to take and carry on forward into a competition.
we had a similar conversation in the East as well. A few people said, "Oh, like 6 minutes isn't a lot of time," and I was like, "Well, how many lifts do you think you're going to get in that time? Realistically, 4. Work out what your jumps are going to be for them 4 lifts from what you've warmed up to here. Do you need to warm up that little bit more?" So yeah, good. Make a plan. Yeah. Onto the workout. Saw some pretty big scores both on the girls and the guys front. Let's speak about the Scottish girls first. Yeah. So here's a great stat for you. The Scottish girls hit a higher average than the Scottish guys on this workout. So the girls averaged 113 calories, and the guys
it's big that.
Yeah, and the guys averaged 112 calories.
So first of all, the guys need to pull the finger out of that. So secondly, again, we spoke about the girls up in Scotland, and I know that they're down at the bottom of the leaderboard, only because they had 22, which is still quite a lot of people. Fine margins, and wouldn't be surprised if we see those Scottish claymores climbing up the leaderboard as it goes, because there's some serious people over there.
I know. I spoke to Liam yesterday, and he said he's starting his recruiting for the next event.
Yeah.
Next event now.
It's right though. It's an easy event, isn't it? Yeah. Just to get your mates down.
Yeah. As well as that, so going off that, one of the Scottish girls was Jennifer Muir, who hit 127 calories, and that put her second behind Helena, who got 135. And the girl that came fourth, Lauren Shucker, was also from Southwest Storm,
right?
Which we knew before this weekend. Down in the southwest, they love a bit of rowing.
Yeah. They do.
And it just goes to when show there. On the guy side, top 3 was Philroy with 167, Evander with 165, and then Harry Lightfoot with 162. Yeah, 3 very big scores.
Big scores. I'd spoke to Phil Roy, and he said it was his workout to lose. So very much like a wheelhouse. I think you'll find that you'd always find with the amount of people that are taking part in this event, like the people that are winning it has to be a bit of a wheelhouse workout for him. And I think he also was a little bit angry that he maxed out at like 110.
So he took it out.
And young Ed Cook beat him on the lifting complex. So yeah, he had some pulling back to do for the workout.
The other stat for you here, so on the female side for Southwest Storm, they were only 6 points off the Welsh men average wise. So the Southwest Storm ladies hit 122 calories as an average, and the Welsh men hit 128 calories as an average.
Shows that it just shows how much they love rowing down at Southwest in the Southwest,
and how much more rowing the Welsh lads need to be doing as well.
Less slinging, more rowing. By the time.
On the workout side, did you see? Was there anything like while you were watching it again that you thought he's doing that really well, she's doing that very well, or?
Yeah, I think
on average they only can shop, and
there's only 2 minutes per interval, so I think we've gone through it in the briefing. Like the setup was really important, just making sure you're in nice and close, and just the kind of urgency from finishing the dumbbell exercise like straight into the burpees, and then how quick you got on the rower. There's 3 things there that don't require you to be any fitter or stronger or better at CrossFit. It's just preparation and just kind of getting things kind of set up, and they're also lessons that we can take forward into qualifying workouts as well. So that was a really important thing, and also like a 2-minute rest. I felt like it didn't come around that quick. I felt like you could really go for it in that first 2 minutes. Like that was potentially the first minute and the last minute were potentially the longest times you'd have on the rowers. Mm-hmm. So you could really go for it on the first one and maximise how many calories you got in that first 2 minute interval, and recover pretty well. That third one was the tough one with the devil, the devil's press, I found.
Right, okay.
I think because it just took longer to do 10 devil's press than it does for the other exercises. So I feel like that was the hardest round and the time you had least on the rower. So I'm glad that was in the middle and it only got visited once.
For me, it was going on to the last set of thrusters and then onto the last interval, because for the devil's press I was like, I can move quite fast here, but there's only like so fast you can move on a devil's press at the same time. But the second set of thrusters lit up my legs, and then it was like close your eyes for that last interval. It was
we had to do heats because of the amount of dumbbells we had in the north. And everyone was saying, quads, it's your quads, it's just your legs, and I was just like, it's my lungs. It's just like, my legs were fine, I was remember just staring at my screen and just like, trying to suck in air.
There was, what was quite good at the East Regional, there was a couple of people that were coming up to me and were like, what if you don't usually use like the RX weight in class workouts and stuff?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is your time to, use them. One lady came up to me and said, I'm really struggling to do the devil's press. So I said, all right, let me come over and have a look. She tried doing a rep where she snatched it straight up, and I said, rather than do that, just clean it to your shoulders, press it up. Yeah. And then she got through it on the workout, did the 10 reps and managed to get back onto the rower for a couple of cows as well, and it just went to show for her, and there's a guy called Ravi as well, that I can do that weight.
Yeah.
I'm going to start to do that weight more as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is all about. It's taking people out of the comfort zones and then making them realise, I can do this.
Yeah.
I am supposed to be here and be getting involved.
And there's only one way that you are going to keep improving, is if you take those chances and those risks.
Yeah.
And learn from it. You can try it, and sometimes it might not pull off, and you might not have got back to the calories on the rower, but at least you've given it a go. You've got those reps in the bank, and you kind of know where your level's at, rather than it's always staying kind of in your comfort zone.
Yeah. One last stat for this workout.
Loving your stats, aren't you?
So the North's average was equivalent to the next top score at a regional event. So the North's average was the same as Michael Jordan and Jamie Harrop's 150 cals.
So that was nothing to do with my score. So I was way off.
I think your third score was Sean, wasn't it? He was 145.
Right, okay.
Beat by 1 rep, Sean. But yeah, that's kind of rounding up off the stats there. I think it was good to see quite a few teams at the events as well. At ours, there was in the East, there was I think 4, which is great for these young 15, 16-year-old people that maybe haven't even been to a competition before, to just get a bit of a taste for it and just see what it's like to go against the best in your region.
Yeah, I think we had with Kiara, who went to Southeast. And she loves it. She got involved, and got involved with people much more experience, and no doubt had a great time and learnt plenty of things. I think there's a 17-year-old girl in Scotland who actually did 80 kilos on that complex.
Right. He's mad.
So and she didn't even contribute to that region's score for lifting. It should just show the strength that they've got up there.
And in Wales as well, there's a girl called Jess Wootton, and we met her at the British Teen Champs. So good to see her get involved, and I'm pretty sure she was on for the workout. She got in the top 3 to contribute to the score there. So awesome to see that there's
the young
younguns coming through.
The younguns. Yeah, cool. Any other shout outs that you remember of?
Any old people? Any old people you want to
I don't think we had too many old people. In the north, it was good because obviously we've got quite a bit of an area that we had catchment, because we don't have a Midlands yet, and we've got northwest and northeast. But we had quite a lot of people travelling. We had Mitch Hickenbottom and Max Galler coming from Midlands. They're after Midlands region, but it was good. We had quite a few people travel, which is good to see.
Well, like I said, we'll try our best to get region events sorted in your regions if we haven't already. We just want to make sure we, you know, find the right place and the right people to just run these events, because there's a little bit more to it than just delivering a class.
Yeah. Cool. Next region event then, just to recap, 19th of February. We're going to try and add, like we say, some region events. Keep your eyes peeled for the locations. Some of them might be the same, some of them might be different. And it'll be all on Team Up links to sign up to with the times and details as well. All right.
Perfect.
See you later.
See you next time.